WMOM 820, 20 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to it. Chris here with you. And wet roadways out there. Those thunderstorms continue to pass through the area. But you know what? We're inside, and so is Dr. Do you go by Dr. J at all? Or is it like...
Yeah, whatever my patients are comfortable with. It's funny, you know, when they call me Dr. J, or, you know, if most people just call me Jacob or whatever. And, you know, everyone always asks, you know, why do you go by Jacob and not Jake? And the truth is one of my best friends growing up and my roommate in college, his mama actually named him Jake, and we grew up in Manistee, and we were in the same grade, so that's how he distinguished it. Not to mention the fact that he's, you know, 5'5" and little, and myself, so that he was always Jake and I was always Jacob, and it just stuck all the way into adulthood.
That's cool. Well, you are well known around this area, and you know that. I was telling you about the story just a few minutes ago with former Chief Kozel, and he has still a place in Manistee, and he was passing through, and he stopped by the radio station the other day, and we chat. We're pretty good friends, and so he is heading down to Muskegon, and he says, "Yep, I had to stop by Dr. J's and get adjusted there." And more and more people that I talk to, they go to you and they trust you, and I think that's crucially important. And I will tell you this as firsthand experience. I have been to you once now. I was supposed to go the second time, but I was in ER the next time. That wasn't because of you. Let's just clarify that right away. So let me just apologize for missing my appointment. Okay, sorry about that.
No, it's understandable.
But that first appointment, and here's the deal for the listeners just to know. Like, I had all this pain down my right arm. And, you know, you always kind of weird out when you have pain in your arm, right? You're like, what's going on with it and stuff. Yeah. And then this big knot on the back of my shoulder. And I went in, and by the time the session was done, I could feel the relief happening in real time. And I think that's so important because at firsthand experience, that I think people, including myself, we carry this soreness, this pain, and we don't think that it's relievable other than just some pain meds here and there and stuff like that. And I think we have to open up our eyes a lot more, don't we?
100%. And you hit the nail on the head. It is unbelievable what the human body can adapt to and the pain we are able to accommodate and live with on a daily basis. Mm-hmm. And just because we can live with it doesn't mean we should. Right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, and that's where you come into play, and this is part of the subject that we're talking about today. Yes. Is Dr. Jacob Seng in the studio with us, NorthStar Chiropractic. You probably recognize his voice, but if you want to watch this segment, you can do that. It's streaming live on our Facebook page right now, as well as our YouTube channel. And we talk about your health being top priority.
Yeah.
Let's break that down for a few moments here. Tell us about that.
So I was lucky enough to go on spring break this last week. So I was out of town with my family, and we board our flight, and we're sitting on the plane, get ready to go. And the flight attendant starts going through their initial thing, right? Mm-hmm. And they start talking about the safety protocols. Mm-hmm. And they said, you know, should in the event of some sort of on-air emergency and the masks drop down, mm-hmm. Please put on your mask before assisting the person next to you. And in our case, right, and in a lot of cases with families on spring break, that's your wife or your child or, mm-hmm. you know, a loved one.
Yep, correct.
And it just kind of hit me all at once. That's how your health should be treated throughout your life, right? And meaning, like, you have to take care of yourself, because if you don't take care of yourself, you are completely unable to help the ones that you love.
Yeah, absolutely.
And yep. So, the reason why I bring it up is so often we run into, with the chiropractic office and with the gyms, with mothers specifically, who basically sacrifice their health for their family, mm-hmm. right? Mm-hmm. Whether it's their husbands or wives or their little ones. And what I think we forget is that if you're not there, if you're not healthy, if you're not able to do the things that you're doing on a daily basis to facilitate this family, you can't. You're gone.
Yeah, like, absolutely.
You're indisposed. You're not going to be there to assist them. So we have to begin to change our mindset around the health of the family. We have to take care of ourselves first so that as we age, as we get older, we can continue to be there. And, this hits especially close to home to me. And not a lot of people don't know, not a lot of people know this. So my mother passed away at 46 years old of colon cancer.
Wow.
And she was that mom. Man, she was there for everything, all the games, took us to all the stuff, made the breakfast, made the lunches, did it all, and worked all at the same time. And for her to be gone just as I was about halfway through chiropractic school, or a third of the way through chiropractic school, and all of a sudden, my mother's gone, and and so that's what I feared. And so that's when my goals shifted in chiropractic school. That's when things kind of moved away from, just the general idea of helping people with back pain, neck pain, and headaches, and really about the longevity of their life and their health throughout that lifetime, so that no family has to experience the things that we did, my brother and I and my dad, and losing just the pillar of our home, right? And that's why I do what I do. That's why we push so hard to help as many people within the community as we can. That's why we dove into the physical fitness stuff. That's why in the summer times when the school is out, I provide child watch at the gym.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I feel like we have to remove those roadblocks so mom can continue to maintain their health. Can the kids have some place to go so that they can continue to work out. Same reason why everything in the office is baby proofed. We have I call it the kid corral. So mom can come in, they know that they're not going to spend more than 5 minutes in the office. They can get adjusted and they can maintain that health throughout their lifetime and create these healthy habits, because by you putting yourself first, that means when your child gets older and they're raising their family, they're maintaining their health, and and so we break the cycle.
But what do you say to people when they say, I just don't have time to I'm running crazy and I just don't have my time for myself. I mean, there has to be the response that not it's just the sugar-coated response, but it is the, hey, you've got to stop in your tracks, right?
Right. Well, and that's the thing is you can make time now to maintain your health, or you're gonna make time for illness.
Yeah.
And no matter what, the illness is going to take that time away from you. Mm-hmm. And the same thing holds true for a lot of our busy people who are chasing the dollar, right? Mm-hmm. We sacrifice our health and our youth to attain that goal, that monetary goal. And so you spend your health to gain wealth, and then in your later years you spend all your wealth to get your health back.
Yeah.
And so it becomes this balance.
That's a very good point. You should repeat that, because I think we don't understand. The goal is not to live and die. It's to live and enjoy life.
Right.
And that happens. It should happen at any age, right?
100%. Yeah. Your fulfillment in every moment of your life is directly related to the physical health of your body. Mm-hmm. And we can derive much more fulfillment from a body that is physically physically able than one that is kind of fighting against us. Mm. And it takes away from that level of fulfillment. In watching it with my mother,
Mm-hmm. How do you say to people now from the chiropractic side of things that this is part of that healthy lifestyle?
Well, we talk a lot about the relationship of your overall health to your nervous system, and how chiropractic directly impacts that nervous system, and by maintaining the level of your spine and that mobility, right? It comes down to mobility. Can we still do the things that we need to do with the correct range of motion that we have to do it, pain-free?
Okay.
And more than anything, I love the fact that as a chiropractor, it's an easy place to start. Right? Like if somebody's having that shoulder pain and stuff like that, coming in for a quick adjustment can rule out whether or not it's musculoskeletal in nature, or maybe there's something bigger at play that we need to chase, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I'm not gonna lie to you. There's situations in my office where we've worked on a patient for a couple weeks, and I'm like, hey, this isn't getting where I want it to be. We need to chase down more information. And sometimes it's not great diagnosis, but it happens faster when you start with a chiropractor. You're seeing somebody on a regular basis than it would if the person that's never been to the doctor in 10 years, they're just fighting through that pain every day, just like you talk about, like what their body's able to live with. And then next thing you know, they go to the doctor and they got, terrible diagnoses and things like that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That means going to see you, being assessed, being adjusted right away. When I went in that first time, that was what, and I say this, and it's not a cliche, but that's what I needed. I needed to be able to, because it had been weeks of that shoulder pain and arm pain, and I'm like, well, maybe I'll get through it. I'll take some Motrin, take some Tylenol, so on and so forth.
Right.
But that was not the solution. It was the solution was going to see you. So can I schedule another appointment, by the way?
Of course.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
Absolutely. That's not a problem.
And in regards to that, I encourage. And here's the other thing. While I was there, I noticed familiar friends and people came in to see you, and I think that was part of a testament of, hey, I'm in the right spot because the individuals are going to see you, and we probably have friends and family that we don't even realize that are taking care of themselves while we're running around crazy. Right. And I think we need to slow down, and we need to be able to do that. So
right.
It's a good idea.
Cool.
Anything that we missed this morning?
No, I thank you for having me on. And I just really enjoy sharing this message with people. And like I said, I don't open up a lot about how I got where I did and my mother and stuff like that. But it's a real thing, and we have to keep in the back of our mind, because putting ourselves first allows us to help our family even more for a longer period of time.
Absolutely. And your mom's looking down on you, as you know, and you got through your med school for a reason, and to help others. And I think it all is part of life story, isn't it?
Yes,
definitely. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Jacob, Dr. J, and saying that, I'm actually probably going to use that on occasion from time to time.
I do like it.
All right, there you go. And NorthStar Chiropractic. If people want to get a hold of you, schedule an appointment, all that stuff, let's tell them about that.
Yeah, the best thing to do is to call the office. It's 843-8200, and you'll talk to one of the awesome front desk staff, and we'll get you on the schedule to come in and for your initial eval. Or if you've already an established patient in the office, you guys know that our established patients just walk in when they need adjustments, and they get their adjustment at that time. Yeah,
it's pretty cool. It's pretty awesome. All right, and the gym side of things is doing well, right?
Oh yeah, okay. We were real busy going into spring break. We just got to make sure that once everybody gets back and they're all tanned and feeling good, that they maintain those healthy habits, even though they don't have a bathing suit to get ready for until June, right?
Hey, summer's going to be here sooner
right.
than you think. Well, Dr. Jacob Seng from NorthStar Chiropractic joining us today. Thank you for coming in, as always.
Oh, thank you.
Absolutely. It is 8:32 on your station, playing your hit music. Coming up, an entertainment update with Al on the way, plus Lizzo and SZA, as well as Selena Gomez on the way too. On 102.7, it's Mom FM.
Your hit music, 102.